Good morning. Welcome to Magdala. Good morning. Welcome, Yesenia. We had to start early today because there's zero cloud and it's already so beautiful. And if people miss something, they can catch up afterwards with the replay. Welcome everybody. Buenos dias. Good morning. Good morning. Isn't it beautiful? There's the sunrise. We are so grateful. Good morning, people. We got a beautiful sunrise this morning. Welcome to the Sea of Galilee. And watching this light travel here, it started out 8 minutes ago. Not this chat and stroll, but that light that you're seeing now left the sun 8 minutes ago and traveled about 93 million miles. So the little less bit it did to go from my camera to your screen is only fractions of a second, and it took 8 minutes to come from the sun, because we're much closer together than the sun is to us. God bless you this morning. We got some very nice beauty here. I have a different tripod this morning that's a little taller, a little more comfortable. And I'm getting used to the squeaking a little bit. So those squeaks are not coming from my bones, but from the tripod. Maybe you don't even hear it. Just drink this one in, people. Drink it in. Soak it up. Soak up those sun rays. Morning delight. Filled with delight. Hope you can hear the birds. I hope the sound is okay. I will try to speak clear. I have a couple of technical hurdles today. When I woke up, even though the phone was plugged in, it was empty. So I had to get a long cable, and the spot where I put in the sound is used as for charging now. So you have to find a gadget that allows you to charge and to talk at the same time. But I hope you can still understand. Tell me if you're not hearing me well, and remind me if I drop my voice. I will try to be clearer and louder so that you can hear better. let's be thankful, filled with gratitude for the gifts we can enjoy. Another day. My heart is still working the last I checked. My lungs. I'm able to see. I can hear. I can touch. I'm even able to put a few words together and think. I'm able to talk, which bothers some people, hopefully not too much. How many things to be thankful for today? The psalm line today is very interesting. You are my son, this day I have begotten you. And this is from the second Psalm, verse 7. So this is quite interesting. You are my son, this day I have begotten you. This day. It's applied especially in the resurrection. We also have it at Christmas time because of the incarnation. We have it at Easter time because of the resurrection. But in a certain sense, we could use it every day. This day I have begotten you. We are in existence through the love of God today. We exist today. Different from yesterday and the day before. Amazingly, these 4 days or 5 days have been amazingly different as sunrises. Some people say, well, how can you see the sunrise every morning? It's always the same. Well, it's not, And how could you be happy in heaven? It's always going to be the same. Give me a break. Give me a break. It's going to be amazing. If there's this much already here, imagine what heaven is going to be like. The Disney World God has created for us. Eye has not seen, ear has not heard what God has prepared for those who love Him. So we're in John chapter 14 today, and Jesus is telling us, do not let your hearts be troubled. And that's what He's saying with the sunrise as well. Do not let your hearts be troubled. I am here. There is a way forward. Don't be buried in one little cloud. Do not let your hearts be troubled. The opening verses of chapter 14. And we're going to have chapter 14 now for a while, people. So get familiar with it. It's beautiful. It's in one of these long conversations at the Last Supper. Have faith in God. You have faith in God. Have faith also in me. Now, one little consideration came there right now. Have faith in God. Have faith in me. And obviously, the speaker is Jesus. And we all know the theological reason why we can have total faith in Jesus. We're 2,000 years later. But look at those disciples there, and they're going to go through the passion and death of Jesus. It's at the Last Supper, this conversation. So their faith is going to be tested. You know what Jesus said to Peter? You will be tested. Satan will test you, but I have prayed for you, Peter. And we know what happened with Peter. His faith was tested. And he flunked. His weakness overpowered him. Kind of a contrasting statement. His weakness overpowered him. His legs fell out from under him. His manliness gave way. He tried to save his own skin. It was just about me at that point. So these words for the disciples are very strong. You have faith in God, okay. Have faith in me. He sent me. And I'm going to go through a tough moment and hang in. And I was thinking, couldn't we also say these words, couldn't these words be said between spouses? Children that are growing in the faith and they're having a struggle with their parents. The parents can't plead from a point of view of authority and say, you got to obey me. But you have faith in God. God put me into your life right now, and I want to do the best for you. Let's talk this through. I'm here to help you. I'm here to support you. Have faith in me. A spouse, maybe going through difficult times emotionally, mentally. You have faith in God. Have faith in me. And the faith is not just up in the clouds. It's very concrete with the concrete day we get. We got a cloudy day. Have faith in me. The sun is still rising behind the clouds. We have a beautiful day. Have faith in me. It's easier maybe. But this great relationship building, because we're all connected, really. I am in the Father. Jesus says, I am in you, you are in me, and I'm in the Father. So our connectedness inside the Trinity is so powerful. Have faith in God, have faith in me. Even in ourselves, that basic conviction that God made no junk. Have faith in God, have faith in me. In my Father's house there are many dwelling places. If there were not, I would not have told you that I am going to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back again and take you to myself, so that where I am, you also may be. Imagine this plan God has for us. And Jesus is revealing to the disciples at the Last Supper. I am going to prepare a place for you. I will come back again and take you to myself. So we're not here forever, people. This is extraordinary. And just as we started out this morning, if this sunrise is so beautiful, imagine what heaven is going to be like. This earth is passing. And the Lord did such an incredible job here. Have faith in God, have faith in me. I am going to prepare a place for you. So then our hearts, after having this faith strengthened, are called to be strengthened in hope. There's a grace given to us to be able to hope. Hope is a grace. It's a gift. It's also a virtue. So virtues are like muscles. If you use them, they get stronger, and if you don't use them, they decline. They're abilities of our faculties to continue on a track of doing good, and the more we accustom ourselves to never compromise on lying, I'm not going to tell a lie, then we become committed to the truth. We become truthful people. People who always stay in bed an extra hour and 2 hours more and 3 hours more to develop a work habit. There are people who are hard workers. That's also the fruit of virtue, of constancy, of habitual, continual effort. And so these human virtues are on a human level, and they're very great enrichment of the human person. People who, for example, will say, I will not ever insult. I will always be courteous. I will be gentle with my words. And to build up those virtues, they become virtues. They become kind of automatic strengths in the person. But the same is also true of the supernatural virtues, because we are all given faith, hope, and love. And there are some people who exercise them more, who live by hope and not by the latest negative report on the media and filled with despair and are all clouded up. No, we will live with hope. Today I have begotten you. I am going to prepare a place for you. This is a great way to live, people. This is the way to live. And this is what the world needs, people who live like this. Right, I have too bright the picture. I hit the black spot in the picture, and then it's so bright. Let's see if maybe I can do it. You've noticed that I've been stationary, people, simply because when I woke up, not only was the phone not charged, despite the fact that I plugged it in. I don't understand why that happened. Obviously, I didn't do it right in my tiredness. Second thing, I forgot to bring over my iPad to charge it because it was completely empty yesterday evening. And then that's where I have my readings and the little gauge on the time. And so I just grabbed the book of readings, the Daily Missal. And then I had to set up the cables and everything, so we're not moving right now until we get enough charge. If we get enough charge, we can move up here in a few minutes, hopefully. I'm getting advice that I'm not being heard properly. I cannot do anything about it because I just checked the charge and it's very low. I'm seeing a couple of notes that you are losing me. I do not have any explanation for that either. So we're having a technically challenged morning. If only one or two people are losing me, that's one thing. If a lot of you are losing me, why don't you just put in a little comment there? Just say, I lost you too in different parts of the world, so that then it's clearly my problem. But I don't know what to do about that because I'm stationary and I'm working on 4G, not on Wi-Fi, so it's not a bad Wi-Fi connection. But enjoy the sunrise. Enjoy the delight of the sunrise. Okay, so more than one lost me. So this is my problem, but I don't know what the reason for that is. Okay, it's clear. A lot of people lost me, but you're all there still, so that's good. You become familiar with all these challenges, and hopefully we will find the good solutions. Okay, so there's obviously a problem on my end about being connected and lost. Thank you very much for these alerts. Can you hear the birds if you can't hear me? Are you able to hear the birds, people? like I have 4G the whole way through, so I don't understand the reason for the lack of connection. I love the path of light in the water. And the last line of the gospel passage today is, Jesus said to them, because they said, when he said, I'm going to prepare a place for you, Thomas says, where are you going? We do not know the way. How to set up for Jesus. I am the way and the truth and the life. I am the way and the truth and the life. Can you hear those crows? So in the Acts of the Apostles, chapter 13, it's the second half of the story we had yesterday. And Paul is still speaking in the synagogue in Antioch. And he completes the account of the life of Jesus. And in his account, he says, we ourselves are proclaiming this good news to you, that what God promised our fathers, he has brought to fulfillment for us, their children, by raising up Jesus. As it is written in the second Psalm, you are my son, this day I have begotten you. It's very interesting to see how this first generation of Christians was so conscious of the scriptures, so aware, so trained in the scriptures. What a great incentive for us. Today, we are always the first generation of Christians for the people around us, for the next generation coming up, to know the scriptures profoundly, to know them well. It doesn't mean having a degree in theology, a university degree, but to read them, to know the story. You ask many a teenager and they can tell you the complete story of certain musicians and pop stars or sports figures. Some people know all the baseball stats. Where your heart is, there, where your treasure is, there your heart will be. Let us fall in love with sacred scripture. Let us become familiar with the great stories of the Old Testament, the Hebrew scriptures. And let us see how these first generation of Jesus' disciples who knew the scripture thoroughly, how they connected it and saw it lighting up their understanding of Jesus. So they're praying the psalm, the second psalm, and the light goes on. Today I have begotten you, the day of the resurrection. Seeing the time here. If you'd be so kind just to, one of you write down the time for me on a note. Exactly what time it is now. Could somebody kindly write down the time? Okay, excellent. 6:25 and 6:19, that's quite a difference. Somebody's clock is off, people. 10:19, so it's 10:19 in Louisiana. Yeah, very good. Excellent. So we still have a couple of minutes. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you for that. People, due to the little technical difficulties, I think we will call it a good day today. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad. Today I have begotten you. I'm going to prepare a place for you. God bless you. Thank you for joining us this morning. And I wish you many, many blessings today. See you later, alligator.